Have you tried to prove your excellence in inter-school quiz competitions? The time is now. Sit back and get ready for the adventure.
Hello everyone, welcome to another interview preparation webinar. Our guest for today is Swapnil Samant, who is a system software engineer at Nvidia. So we'll be starting the webinar in about a minute. I'll request you to ask your friends to join in as we'll be starting soon. I can see 30 people live right now. I'll request you to drop your comments as I'll address all your questions at the end of the session. So stay tuned till the end. Okay, I'd like to invite Swapnil to the stream. Hi, Swapnil.
Hi. Hi, Sheel. Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Okay, so
Yeah.
Swapnil will be starting the webinar. I'd start by first asking about yourself, a brief introduction about you and also your company.
Okay. So my name is Swapnil. I live in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. I pursued my BTech in Computer and Communication Engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology. I just graduated this year in 2021, and so I got an internship offer from campus at Nvidia last year in the month of October, about a year ago. And due to my good performance there, I got converted to a full-time employee. So I'm currently in my 4th month as a full-time employee here. Now coming to the company, Nvidia is a very, very good company. I'd say probably one of the best companies if you're looking at the software side. It's not just the work, but the work culture here. Like, people are extremely friendly. Everyone is like, there's no hierarchy. You can reach anyone whenever you want, even if you have the slightest of doubts. And yeah, that's about the work culture, and everyone is treated equally here, and there's nothing like politics or anything going on. And the pay scale is really high, like it's above average, and you get a lot of goodies as an intern and as a full-time employee. And the laptops which you get to work with are probably the best, I'd say. And yeah, that's about my company. So we manufacture graphic cards. We're going into AI, like developing softwares for self-driving cars, etc., and also into the robotics side. But mainly right now, the company's main product is the GeForce graphic card, which is used in multiple PCs and larger systems as well. So yeah, that's about my company.
Okay, so this was a pretty informative overview about your company, which I think is a good thing for our audience if they want to get
Yeah.
into Nvidia. So, okay. So, did you graduate this year only, or was it last year?
No, this year in 2021. Like, I'm yet to receive my degree because of the pandemic. So I'll
Okay.
get my convocation is this weekend actually. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
about
Okay. Cool.
to graduate officially.
Okay. So this was the first company that you went in right after college.
Yes, this is my first company.
Okay. And this was this opportunity that you got in your campus only, right?
Yeah, the Nvidia came to our campus for software and hardware role. So the software role was for computer branches and hardware role was for electronics branches like EEE and EC.
Okay. So is it like regular? Does Nvidia come to your campus every year, or was it this year only?
So last year they came for BTech for the first time in our college. Before that, for a couple of years, they were coming to hire only master students who had master degrees from our college.
Okay.
But this year also they've come for hiring BTech candidates. So yeah, this is the second year that they've come to Manipal Institute of Technology. When I was there, like last year, it was the first time they came for BTech.
Okay, Swapnil. First of all, congratulations for this great feat
Thank
that
you.
you achieved of getting into Nvidia,
Yes,
and
thank you
we'll
very
be
much.
discussing about all the rounds and what you have been through in the interview process
Sure.
for our audiences. So
Okay.
I'd get straight into it. How many rounds were there in the interview, and can you please describe all the rounds?
Okay. So first and foremost, there was an online test on Hacker Rank. It was of 60 or 70 minutes. It comprised of 24 MCQs and one coding question. The MCQs were mainly based on C, C++, operating systems, math, and I think little bit of object-oriented programming. That was the main focus. Nothing related to Java, Python, or anything was asked. Mostly like output-related questions, some C concepts, core concepts that you need to understand about object-oriented programming, predicting the output, and math. They had a lot of mathematical questions. Like out of 24, around 8 to 9 of them were probability or data interpretation, and there was one coding question of medium level, and it had I think 13 test cases in total. So yeah, and I don't remember the question exactly, but it wasn't hard. It was related to numbers, I think. Finding all pairs that uh, give sum equal to say a specified number like 25. So find all the numbers whose sum is equal to 25. That was the question that was asked in the OT. So when I gave the OT, around 100 or 200 students appeared for it, and I think 14 students got shortlisted for software. Hardware was different. For hardware, I don't know what they asked, but I suppose math and everything was common. But instead of C and coding, they asked related to Verilog and other electrical core subjects. And their interview process, I don't have an idea about. Coming to software, there was only one round of interview for us because they were hiring only for internship. Like it was I to P offer, not P plus I offer. So if you do well in internship, then you get placement. Otherwise, you don't. So they had only one round. There were two interviewers with 10 years or 15 years of experience, and the interview was of 1 hour. They started with asking me some mathematical problems, like say there are 12 balls or 13 balls. One of them is heavy and all of them are of the same weight. So write an algorithm to find out in the least number of steps to find the ball which is heavy, like the odd ball out. Then they asked questions related to linked list, arrays, insertion, deletion in a linked list, and some basic C questions related to printf, if else. And after that, they asked me another mathematical problem which I don't recall, but it was simple. Then, if you guys are aware of socket programming, it's a subject taught in communication. So they asked me to write a basic socket program with all the system calls that are required, not like through an editor, on Notepad only, because they didn't have enough time, to test everything. So asked me to write about socket programming, and finally they asked me different types of joints in DBMS, and then they gave me a question and I had to write the SQL code for it. So yeah, that's about it. It all lasted 1 hour. And
Okay, so
finally,
okay,
only one person was selected from software side and 3 from hardware side in our college. Yeah.
okay, and that one person was you.
Yeah, like in software, right? But
Okay,
that's not
so
the
as
case
you said
every time.
earlier that this was for an internship. So are you an intern right now?
No, no, I was an intern till June, and after that the results were announced, so I'm getting a full-time offer, and I got converted to a full-time employee in July
Okay.
2021. Yeah.
So how are you finding it in the company? Are you liking it here?
Yeah, I'm liking it here so far. To be honest, like in my teams, I don't know about other teams, but most of the teams, it's not core software development. Like in other big companies such as Amazon, Microsoft, you work in upper layers where you develop applications like like which is more user friendly. Like you'll get to see a lot of creative things. But in Nvidia, we work more towards hardware and firmware side, like most of the teams. But don't get me wrong, there are a few teams which have such things which are developing applications, but the chances of you getting into that is less compared to other companies because those teams aren't as predominant as the firmware and hardware teams here, right? So most of the engineers here are system software engineers. So you will be working in C, C++ mainly, and will be using Jira software and other internal tools of Nvidia to get the work done. It's not hardcore programming, but it's more like interacting with hardware, fetching data, running tests, unit tests, etc. Yeah. So coming how I'm finding the work. So right now it's only my fourth month here. So initially I was assigned a simple task which I could do because I was getting help from others and I had to learn along the way as well. And currently I'm going through some training and will be assigned a new task within a few weeks. So far it has been good. Manager has been great and other people have been really nice to me and helped me get settled.
Okay, okay, great. So moving on, can you describe about your projects that you worked on and what made you different from the rest of the crowd?
Okay, so I'll tell you something. It's a lot of students in college these days feel that the more projects you do, more internships you have, the better the chance you will have of getting an internship. But let me tell you, this is not the case. What I feel is for those of you in computer branches, you should have one AI ML project if you want and one app dev project. That would be sufficient. Like when they're coming to hire you, they very well know that even no matter how much work you do, you still have to go through the basics in the company because it's mandatory and it's like 5% chances there that you'll straight away be comfortable with the work because most companies have their own softwares and tools to do their day-to-day work. So yeah, projects do help, but what your understanding of the work which you have done matters more. And say like when the project you have will only help you if the company is coming to hire you for something similar to what you've worked on, right? Otherwise it's of no use to them. So coming to the projects I worked on, I did a web development internship after my second year. But again, yeah, I developed 2 websites for the company. But yeah, that overall didn't come of any use for my interview because the role here was completely different. And that was one internship. And in college, we as a team, we had a group project. We made a maze game and a Java music recommendation system. So that's the project I had. What helped me stand out from the rest is that I had good understanding of C, C++, and I was also the branch topper in my college. So I was ranked 1 in my branch. So I think that helped me stand out from the crowd. And more than that, my understanding of C++, and operating systems was what mainly helped me in the interview. And yeah, my CGPA definitely helped me, but having good understanding of C++, operating systems, then computer architectures and compilers, these are the main things that can help you clear interviews in Nvidia. Like, these are the main things they focus on: Windows architecture or computer architecture. If you have a good understanding of that, then you can do well in the interview. But moreover, they'll ask you on C and C++ concepts the most in the interview. So yeah, my projects and my CGPA is, I think, what helped me, and my knowledge of C++ that helped me stand out from the crowd.
Okay. So in your interview, were the majority of questions were in DSA or the OOPS concepts?
Again, I'd like to correct you. Nvidia doesn't really focus on DSA.
Okay.
They focus more towards C++ concepts such as encapsulation, abstraction, then
Okay.
other C terminologies, templates, namespaces. Like, if you have understanding of different keywords and when to use them, like good understanding of C++, that will help. They don't focus on algorithms. Like, I asked them personally in the interview, like, how is work at Nvidia, how is coding. So they told me that we focus on simple tasks day to day. It's not like we solve some complex algorithm and work on it, but we start with small steps, simple things in C++, and get them working together. So yeah, Nvidia is not a company which will test you heavily on algorithms. Yeah, sure, they'll test you on data structures, basic linked list operation, but don't expect them to ask you some really tough coding questions.
Okay, great. Lastly, I want to ask you about your preparation strategy for our students.
I say, so I didn't practice much on algorithms, etc. I'll tell you honestly, because I wasn't really into that, and I was hoping to get a company like Nvidia where simple tasks are done and just understanding of basic concepts would be enough. So for the Nvidia interview, I referred to Geeks4Geeks itself. Like, I checked the GFG forums of previous year interviews for interns. So the night before, like, interview was at 9 in the morning, 9 to 10. So that night from 12 to 4 or 5 a.m., 5 hours, I was just seeing GFT questions on what they ask one after the other, and writing the answer and practicing to get an understanding and be prepared for what would be asked to me tomorrow in the interview. It was more of getting theoretical knowledge on various C concepts. So I feel GFT is the best. I'm not endorsing GFT, but no, honestly, I did prepare from GFT myself, not just for Nvidia, but for all the companies that had come to my college, because the forums here and interview experiences are written really nicely and are pretty much accurate also. Even sometimes they pick up the same question also that they had specified. So I recommend Geeks4Geeks as the number one source whenever you're looking for a company's interview process. I didn't refer any textbook or anything. What I had was the knowledge I gained in my college years, and with that I gave the interview.
Okay. 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 So I'd like to come to the comment section now. Dharun Khanna is asking about the software development and system programming. How will it be your day, and how will your day be, and what technologies are used and programming languages for system programming?
I don't know about Golang, but as I said, here in my team, we deal with everything in C and C++. Some other teams use JavaScript and other languages for their tools. But most of the teams, even in my internship, I was in a different team. We were working with C and C++. I don't think Golang is used here. Everything is C, C++. Everything that I've come across.
Okay, guys, so just focus on C and C++, not to go much deep into algorithms, and you will crack that NVIDIA interview for sure. Anyway, moving on. Coder Bravo asks about the roles. What roles do we get in NVIDIA as a fresher?
So that depends on your CV. So what happened is after our internship, uh, not just me, all the managers in the software side, they ask you for your CV with what projects you worked upon previously and your internship project, and then that CV is put to a common pool of other interns who had also worked with you in the same tenure in other teams. Then they see for a vacancy in their team and which intern there has a suitable skill set for that. So most of them get system software roles. Some get to application side where we have Jarvis and other internal softwares of Nvidia that are being developed. So there are chances you can go there in the robotics side also, but those teams are smaller, like they have less teams for that. So the chances of getting into them is slim. But yeah, that's about it. Mostly you'll get a system software role, or like 10 to 15 to 20% chance is that you'll get something in the upper application layer side where you'll be developing actual tools which the users will interact with.
Okay. So Dev Shah here is in high school and he knows the basics of C and Python, and he also likes web development. Any advice for him?
Which class is in 11th or 12th? He's in high school,
He
right?
might
So
be, yeah, in
I'd
12th.
say don't worry about all these things right now. You have your 4 years of college lifetime to think about that, and even after that, you'll get enough time. Right now, you should just focus on the basics of C, C++. Like I learned C, C++ in 11th and 12th in my curriculum, and that has helped me a lot in college life, getting through a lot of core subjects that I had. So I'd advise you to learn the concepts and apart from that, focus on competitive exams because I don't think they'll
So
ask
Dev here
you.
writes that he's in currently in 10th standard, so he has plenty of time to prepare, and I think he
Yeah,
is
I
looking much.
say like leave the book aside and enjoy 10th grade. I
Right.
won't say that worry about all this right now. You're too young. You're just 15 or 16, and I think, yeah, as I said, if you really want that, you're really that eager, you should focus on C, C++, basic concepts. But I'd suggest you enjoy your childhood more than worry about all this right now.
Okay, I'd quickly address the last question for today, which is from Varun Verma, who wants to work in a research field. How should he start, and what should he do to get into research?
Is he in college already or is he in school? Let's assume he's in college.
Yeah.
I'd first say to venture different fields and see which one you like. Say, if you're a computer engineer, I'm assuming that, then I'd say you should uh, first learn about data science, then app dev, software dev. Like just learn what it's about. Just don't go doing. Just go there and do a project, but understand what it's about, and then see which one you're aligned towards, like what interests you the most. And then when you're sure you like that, then approach a professor in your department and ask him if he'll allow you to do a project under him. If he says yes, and you both have a common interest, then do a project. Then do different tests and see if you're getting good results, and if you are, then try publishing it in a conference or somewhere, and that will help you more to get into a research field. You can go for masters after your BTech, or you could go to some other college in India and work as a research assistant for a professor. And yeah, that's, I think, what I'd advise you to do right now.
Okay, so guys, I hope you got the answers to all your questions. I'll wrap up today's session, and I'd like to thank Swapnil for this amazing interview today. And your insights will truly help our students for their future preparations. So, thank you, Swapnil, for today, and I wish
You're
you all the
welcome,
best
guys.
for your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you. Wish you the same, Sheil. Bye, guys.
Bye, Swapnil. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today, guys. I'll be back with another session. So, stay home and get vaccinated. Bye bye.